Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another transmission from the Outpost Nerd. I am the nerd of the Outpost, my geeks, dweebs, and nerds, and we're here gonna talk a little nerdy tonight. And tonight, I'm gonna try to make this a weekly thing. This is welcome to the new show, Nerd at Night. Get it? It's like I play at Naked Night, but so, but we'll just be talking and chatting about stuff going on, stuff I what up, Kaiser? What up? What up? What? I'm good now. I'm good now. Did my intro play? Hold on, hold on. Mm, I hate wet StreamYards. Jeez, I hate StreamYards now. It's just the intro. But tonight got big news in the world of Star Wars. I won't wait and talk about that in a few minutes. Just give you a life update. You know, been going about the past week and a half to job interviews, a couple different places, filling out applications. It's just that time of the year for me. So I'm doing that. Mom's doing good. Her elbow or shoulder, she's still sore. Goes to the doctor Monday. I wonder why the intro didn't. I don't know. But it's just been slow. I've been bored watching movies, same movies over and over again. But I've got some news, so let's get into it. Let me share the screen. Gina Carano actually wins her Disney lawsuit. This is from Deadline. This really is the way. It's titled Gina Carano Pile Drives Disney over Mandalorian firing with settlement and job offers. With them settling, excuse me a second. With them settling, this tells me something was big that they did not want out. This is a big thing for. This is a big win for non woke entertainment, I believe. You know, she didn't. Her sin was that she did not kowtow to the woke mob. Cara Dune was probably one of the best Star Wars characters they've made. I would say since Luke. She was one of my favorite characters. She was strong. She didn't need the Force, and she kicked ass. In the movies, we all see these laser sword wielding space wizards, but sometimes with the Mandalorian, with Andor, with all these newer TV shows, we're seeing the Star Wars universe expand to where our heroes aren't the only ones. Are they don't have they don't have superpowers. They're just regular people. Let me see something. And it's with her, it's like before and since her firing, all people have heard was like, oh, the Force is female. No, it's not. Is gravity female? Or does gravity have a gender? Does the heir have a gender? A gender? No. George saw the Force as this natural um, element of the universe. It's like gravity. It's like air. Like I said, it's then you in this Star Wars galaxy you had the Force. It's just these natural phenomena. It's not meant to be male nor female. So like when Kennedy said, "Oh, the Force is female," no, it's not. The you need good written characters, and Cara Dune was that. And we almost got a show starring her called Rangers of the Republic, but then I think I see a pattern when you have these big stars that don't follow the quote unquote rules of Hollywood or the entertainment business that get excommunicated, that get that get yeah, excommunicated is the best word I could think of. Blacklisted almost. The difference between now and the 40s and 50s was they actually kept lists of people that they didn't want to work with. Now they don't do that as much, I guess you could say. But let's look into this a little bit. Oh no. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I let's hold on. Okay, there we go. I did not do a good job. I made a mistake. So share screen. Bring up one that's not behind a paywall, shall we? Let's see. What is Yahoo News? This is Yahoo News saying Gina Carano, Disney settled legal dispute over Mandalorian fighting. We look forward to identifying opportunities to work together in the future. Who in their right mind would ever want to go back to work for that soulless mouse? So let's see. Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Company have reached a mutual agreement in their legal dispute with Gina Carano over her firing from The Mandalorian. A Lucasfilm spokesperson said in a statement provided to Variety, the Walt Disney Company said Lucasfilm and Lucasfilm are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement with Gina Carano to resolve the issue in her pending lawsuit against the companies. Miss Carano was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff. Bullshit. Pedro should have came to her. Pedro and Weathers should have both come to her defense because what Pedro, the anxiety ridden, love Pedro, love him. He's a great actor. Loved him in Game of Thrones is where I first saw him, and then after Game of Thrones, you just saw him everywhere. He is not the Mandalorian. He does the voice. One of Clint Eastwood's grandkids, his grandsons, is actually the actor in the suit, and then you have the stuntman. There are 3 actors that played the Mandalorian. The only times Pedro was probably ever on set in all these seasons was when he had to take the helmet off. So you're probably looking at what, 3 or 4 times, I think. See, and she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. While this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Miss Carano in the near future. Let's see, does it see me? Yeah, this goes back into why she was fired. Carano was fired from The Mandalorian in 2021 after sharing several controversial social media posts, just like Pedro, including one that compared being a Republican to being Jewish during the Holocaust. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It compared the climate to both both then and now. The snitching that I had to study that time in Germany quite a bit for a play I did in college. You know, Kaiser, it seems like every quarter, every 3 months, we hear someone in the commentator universe or Star Wars circle say, "Oh, Kathleen Kennedy's being fired," or "Kathleen Kennedy's leaving Lucasfilms." It seems like we get that every quarter. And you know what? I've stopped believing it until she says herself, "I'm leaving," and walks out the door. I don't believe it. I will not believe it. And if I was Gina, I would never set foot on in Disney studio ever again, because it seems like to me, yeah, when she does enough damage that it's unrepairable, which she's pretty close to probably. In 2024, Carano filed suit in California federal court alleging wrongful termination and discrimination, as well as demand that court should force Lucasfilm to cast her and pay at least 75,000 in punitive damages. Disney's lawyers filed a motion in 2024 to throw out the lawsuit, arguing that it had a First Amendment right to fire the actor, stating it has a constitutional right not to associate its artistic expression with Carano's speech. Oh, 100%. They have gotten, and I think this is where a lot of these, this and Marvel, it is now quantity over quality. I mean, we're getting movies and TV shows of both Marvel and and Disney IPs out the wazoo every year. I remember going to the movies because it was once or twice every year or two that you get a new Marvel movie. I remember as a kid seeing Return of the Jedi in theaters during the special effects, updated effects editions that they did in the 90s and 2000s. My dad took me to see Episode 2. I'll always hold that as a special memory because my dad and I don't have a lot in common, but he took me to go see the Clone Wars. Carano fired back in a post on X, writing, "Disney has confirmed that what has been known all along. They will fire you if you say anything they disagree with." Yep, you can't disagree with the mouse. Don't. You better do what Mickey says. Mickey's the boss. God, Walt would not recognize his company. He's probably spinning in his cryogenically frozen pod above Pirates of the Caribbean. Even if they have to misrepresent, malign, and mischaracterize you to do it. Yep, that's typical play in their playbook. They are now on record letting everyone who works for them know that Disney will take any chance they get to control what you say, what you think, or they will attempt to destroy your career. Glad we cleared that up. The First Amendment does not allow Disney to wantonly discriminate, which is what they have done in my case, and frankly have now admitted they did. And if you ever wanted to know what today's Disney's values are, they just told you. Exactly. Carano's lawsuit was funded by Elon Musk, the owner of X, as well as the CEO of Tesla Motors and SpaceX. Musk declared in 2023 that he would pay legal bills for people who have been fired from their posts on the social media platform. Carano has not officially responded to the statement, but wrote on X on Thursday morning, "And the truth shall set you free." So, yeah, that's a big win for the more conservative side of Hollywood. And there are probably a lot more people who keep their mouths shut. They're kind of conservative whispers only. And I'd love to see Cara Dune come back, but I'm not. I don't think she needs to. After dealing with what she has been through, the double standard, the blacklisting that she has been through, I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. And it's gatekeeping. Gatekeeping 100% at its finest. But Disney has always kind of really controlled their stars more than they needed to. Dr. Pepper. Love me some Dr. Pepper. If I only could afford a real doctor. But like I remember, I think it was Walt himself put the woman who did the voice of Snow White under such a strenuous contract. She could never sing for anyone outside it other than Disney ever again, because Disney wanted Walt himself wanted to keep that magic just for Snow White. Or these studios have always had just done the most horrible things to their actors and actresses. Judy Garland, she was pumped with so many drugs and excuse me. She was taken. She wasn't allowed to have children for so long. They worked her 7, 8 movies a year at least. So what was done to Gina was not new, but the outcome of it was. I think this is showing that people are tired of this. But I don't think we're to the point that the everyman can do this if they have something like this happen, because not everyone's going to have Elon Musk to back them up. They're not going to have the billions-dollar man, the real-life Tony Stark, to back them up. So that's a good thing. And now I'm gonna shift gears a little bit and kind of show you kind of the disgusting side of technology, what we're going through right now. And so Jim Acosta, fired journalist, now podcaster, interviews AI generated avatar of deceased Parkland teen promoting gun control message. This is utterly disgusting. And I think now, when I cover this story, I will never be monetized. So if you'd like to show me some love and support my channel, go to buymecoffee.com/outpostnerd to buy me a cup of Joe. Show your love for me. Help me out here. With StreamYard's screwing people over now, I could really use some help. So with every tool mankind has made, there's always been to stick with the Star Wars theme, let me see something. A light side and a dark side, you could say. There's always good and bad. And it's not the tool that makes something good nor bad. It's the person behind it. Like, I'm sorry. Spoons and forks don't make you fat. It's how much you shovel in using them. Or guns don't. I honestly believe guns don't kill people. People kill people. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. I grew up around guns. My dad, from a very young age, taught me and my brother gun safety. He could joke around. He could have fun. But the moment that guns came out, the joking stopped. It was time to get serious. It was time to put this joking aside and put your game face on. And this This whole thing using an image of a dead child. It's disgusting. It's morbid. It's like you dug him up and stuck your hand up his butt and started puppeteering him. So I'm gonna read a little bit about this. This is this made me sick. Jim Acosta, I know he'll never see this, but you are a disgusting, whorish slut to do this for money. And I'm sorry, I know this kid's parents are hurting, but to use your son's likeness like this, I'm going to say this now. If something ever happened to me, I do not give anyone permission to use my voice or likeness in any way to push any agenda, right or left. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. So let's read a little bit what they say on here on New York Post. Liberal journalist Jim Acosta interviewed, quote unquote, interviewed. I'm using air quotes. This wasn't an interview. The artificially animated avatar of deceased teenager Joaquin Oliver to promote a gun control message on Monday. Working with the gun control group Change the Ref, funded by Oliver's parents. This is his parents doing. This boy's parents thought that this was a good idea to turn their son into a puppet. Acosta had a conversation on his Substack with an avatar created by the father of the son who was killed in a Parkland shooting in 2018. He would have been 25 on Monday. I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence, Acosta asked. AI is a great tool and it's only going to get better, but we have to have some level of ethics. We need ethics and control. Oh, what was the guy's name? Let me see. Let's see. That's right. I know. There we go. No, Steve Wozniak. I heard an interview with him. The Woz. He amazing tech innovator, one of the great tech innovators of the 20th century. Said we need a kill switch. Almost. He said we need a kill switch. We need a way to stop AI, or it's gonna get to the point, and I think Kaiser, you're right. It's getting to the point where you won't be able to tell what is real or not. AI is going to be the ultimate gaslighting tool. And Steve Wozniak said we need a way to stop it, and it's getting to the point. This is how the AI responded. Great question. I believe in a mix of strong gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations, connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard, Oliver's avatar said. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think of that? I think it's a great idea, Joaquin says, the ex-CNN correspondent. Acosta also asked questions like, what's Oliver's favorite team movies and TV shows were? The avatar answered and often asked Acosta the question back, sometimes sounding robotic, sometimes highly enthusiastic. This is making me sick. As the two talked, Acosta's Substack live chat was littered with messages commenting on the unusual scene, with some calling it creepy, weird, and unsettling, while others found it an interesting and even touching experiment. Ugh. Afterwards, Acosta spoke to Oliver's father, Manuel. I don't even give it 5 years. I maybe give it 2 or 3. Well, we've talked about this. Me and you talked about this before, Kaiser. back a year or two ago when they had the big Hollywood strike, this was a big issue. The studios wanted to have you as actors. Say I go into a movie theater as an extra for a day worker. I'm just background actor in a dinner scene. They wanted me to come in and when I signed my contract, they wanted me to sign away my face in perpetuity. That means they can use your face and likeness for anything that they could want. That means I couldn't go to another studio or do something else. My likeness, they owned me. They owned me. And that was a big thing in the writers in Hollywood strike a year or two ago. That luckily it was um it was shot down, but that doesn't mean they're not going to try again. And I think the de-aging thing is, well, talking about AI in movies and stuff, I just watched in the last season of Cobra Kai, they had Mr. Miyagi come back. And how long has he been dead? I think he died. He died in like what? Pat Morita. He died in 2005, and they had him come back and do a whole fight scene with Daniel in the last season of season, and it looked awful. It looked terrible. It looked like someone had taken a mask and just stretched it over. Hollywood now is just basically offices. They don't create anything in Hollywood anymore. A lot of what's created is done in Atlanta or up in Toronto or even over in London. And pretty soon, with the technology that you and I have access to now, we could create a movie better than any of the Star Wars movies. There's a reason that you get these fan films that people say, "Oh wow, this fan film puts the original to shame." There was a Star Trek fan-made series called Axanar. It's supposed to be about the ships in the battles during the Klingon Federation War. It was so good. It looked so good that Paramount sued them and stopped them from making productions. All they released was maybe a 5-minute little video called Prelude to Axanar. I highly suggest looking it up, and it puts modern Trek to shame. A lot of it too had actors from Star Trek playing new characters. They had the actor who played Gowron and Worf's brother. They played Klingons and officers, or there was Vic Mignogna did a web series called Star Trek Continues. They recreated the entirety of the original series. They created the sets, they created the costumes, the makeup, everything. They did not update anything, and they finished the 5-year journey, and it was so well done and so well received. You can't make those anymore. You can't make fun fan films anymore because the technology that we have access to is with AI and CGI. Hell, we have holding up. Grab your cell phone. You have an entire movie studio in your hand. You can make an entire movie on your phone. So this is it's getting to the point that while that's the good side, having the AI kid push an agenda, that's when it gets disgusting. Now, if someone on the right was pushing for using a dead person to push an agenda like this, I'd say the same thing. One moment. Oh, sorry, thought I was muted. But it's I want to continue this a little. This article should be almost finished. After Acosta spoke to Oliver's father, Manuel, who thanked him for his participation in the interview, Acosta marveled at the avatar being able to engage with him, saying he was speechless. God, if you could only stay speechless, the world would be such a better place. At the technology, and really felt he was speaking with a real, actual person. Yeah, of course, Jim Acosta, who's dealt with fake people his entire career, people he's had to kiss up to, is going to think an AI avatar feels real. I understand that this is AI, Oliver said, saying he wasn't trying to truly bring back his son. Sadly, I can't. However, the technology is out there. I can hear his voice again. Okay, I'm sorry for your loss, but this isn't about you're not using it to make yourself feel better. You're using it to push an agenda. He's a symbol for something that is deeply, deeply wrong with this country, Acosta said, referring to gun violence that killed youths like Oliver. People give up, and I think something like this is maybe going to give some people some hope that we should keep changing, keep pushing for this. And I think we could all agree with this statement. After the interview, Acosta said Oliver should still be here today. Yes, I know it might be a little startling to see one of these young people, a child like Joaquin, come back to us in this fashion. It's an AI. It's a technological zombie. This is what it is. A child like in the form of artificial intelligence. But please understand, after watching this, that this AI experiment is an expression of love from. No, it's not. It's not. I don't see any love in all this to use your son like this. Oliver's likeness has been generated by his father using AI before. Okay, so this is not the first time that this sick man has done this to his son. One example was in 2004 when an AI generated message of his voice was used to call members of Congress. Again, this is a pattern of a sick, mourning man. It's been 6 years and you've done nothing, not a thing to stop all the shootings that have continued to happen since. And you can blame the Dems for that. You can blame a lot of people for that. You can blame either side. They're both just as guilty. Change Ref didn't immediately respond to a request from comment from Fox News Digital. Of course they didn't. Acosta left CNN in January. I think he was fired, if I'm not mistaken, and launched his own Substack in February. He regularly interviews. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just disgusting. But I understand losing someone. I think we can all understand losing someone in some fashion or another. But to use instead of this is just beyond disgusting. I don't understand how a father can use their child like that. Let them rest. Give them the peace that they need, that they deserve. And bringing them up like that is not going to do it. So I think it's like I've heard lawyers say that the laws are always 10, 15 years behind technology. Someone needs to do something. Someone needs to do something about likeness laws, copyright laws. I would think this would fall under some kind of copyright law. I'm not a lawyer or anything. I'm just spitballing here. It's just, it's nasty. It is horrible. It is beyond anything that I could fathom. It really is. So I keep seeing 3 or 4 people watching. Thank you all for being here. But I only see Kaiser Pineapple in the chat. Who else is in here? And I think that's where we're falling flat. There has to be something that can be done. And I would think there would be a lot of attention whore lawyers out there. We know a lot of them that would probably would love to have their name attached to a landmark case like this. Ace, well, hey Squid, thanks for being here. But it's just we have seen some disgusting, horrible things done in the name of people's agendas. That this one just leaves me almost speechless. This one leaves me like my mind is just blown. What? Damn it. I hate YouTube sometimes. I don't know. Maybe because I don't stream that often. I'm trying to stream more. But like I said, with the way StreamYards has kind of screwed everyone over, and I'm trying to relearn everything. And it's I really need someone to sit down with me and like OBS or whatever. YouTube is asshole. YouTube is #1 asshole. And it's no, you're fine. I like talking with the chat. So if y'all have anything to say, would like me to talk about, yeah, I had a teacher I worked with, Kaiser, who's going to self-publish her book. She actually left teaching at the end of last school year to go into full-time writing. But it's a big thing. It's it's daunting, but I'm just how much more are we going to see of this in the future? How much more? How much easier is it going to be to lie to people? You know, how much easier is it going to be to oof, I don't know. This is just this is beyond dangerous. This to me is one of the AI to me is a bigger danger than the nuclear bomb in my jeez, you're at 1,100 pages. I'm at like 8 pages. And I'm stuck on mine. I've wrapped up my character's first little adventure, kind of a barroom brawl kind of thing, and now I'm trying to figure out how to transition into another part of the story. And beginnings and transitions are always the hardest for me to write. But I think AI is probably the most dangerous power in the world right now. And I know that might seem crazy to say, but say you have a video of Trump saying something about Russia or someone in the Middle East, and it's fake, but it's so good you can't tell. That could cause a lot of damage. A lot of people, things could happen, and something's got to be done. But I'm. It's going to take a smarter man than me to figure it out, honestly. My manuscript for the first book is done, so it's ready to shop for a publisher. Yeah, you might need to break that into a two-parter. See, I have a problem like when I'm writing, I feel that my dialogue between the characters is kind of stale. So I'm never like really satisfied with it. I think that's probably my own self-doubt in some ways. Oh, that's cool of him. I remember his book caught a lot of heat from like political activists in the newspapers down there in South Florida where he is. Oh yeah, I always write. I I try, and I sent it out. A couple of the teachers I worked with, I was able to send it to them, and they said it was good and gave me some pointers and stuff. You know, but so yeah, I'm looking for work, trying to figure it out. Just not hearing back from anybody. You know, I'm gonna make some phone calls tomorrow. School starts Monday here, so I was hoping to have a job by then, but with my mom's injury, I wasn't able to really get out and look for a couple of weeks. I had to stay at home with her. So it's been rough, but she's doing better. She's getting to be more robot than anything else. You know, 2 knee replacements and a shoulder replacement. I told her she's going to be more robot, more Borg by the time she's done. Could you hear it? Resistance is futile, y'all. Me squid, I'm in the south. So the biggest issue is that I literally can't break it up. Just having our over the estimated amount of submission doesn't mean that I can't. It was one of y'all that I found out lives just like an hour or two west of me. I can't remember if it was you, Squid. I can't remember who it was that. It don't matter. But I'm. That's just it too. The problem is tourist season is starting to wrap up, and that means a lot of people are being laid off in my town. In my town, it's a lot of. We have like all these tourist places. That might be who I'm thinking of. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember, Kaiser. Okay, no, I'm in Northwest Florida near the trigger of the state. If you know how Florida looks like a gun. Oh, YouTube's gonna love me talking about that. I live near the trigger. Yes, then it was her. Yeah. Heidi, hey, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up in about and couple in a little bit. So I want to I'm gonna try something. So I'm gonna probably take the stream down and do some editing because I want to try something. But it's been like one of the rainiest summers. It has rained nearly every day for like 2 months. And the thing is here, like it rains for like 15 minutes, your entire day's shot because it's so hot and nasty and muggy. But so yeah, so I'm gonna call it a night. So thank you for being here for the inauguration uh episode of Nerd at Night. I'm gonna try to make this a weekly thing. I don't know if I'm gonna make it once a week or twice a week. It's gonna be either Thursday or Friday. So thank you all for being here. And I'm hoping let's see. I think if I share the entire screen, I'll get volume. So let's see. Remember what I said. I always sign it off. Find your passion and nerd out about it. I'm the nerd of the Outpost. Love you. I'm gone. Still no audio? Dang it. Let me try something. So I shared window. Let me share screen. Audio is clipped on. Should I share window or share screen? Guys, you're smart when it comes to this. What should I share? Let me uh let me see. Um that's so let's see. Whoa. Yeah, that's a so okay. Share screen. Tire screen. I mean, bring that up. Shut that down. So okay, I'm just gonna shut this down. Love you guys. Remember, find your passion and nerd out about it. Later.